Yeah, so it was Friday the 13th. So during that night while I was out, they had a Smackdown show, and Roman Reigns returned. Woohoo! Yay! So he's been gone for a while. Vlad's been kind of mad about that he's hasn't been showing up. Like, he didn't even wrestle on this night, but Vlad, I don't think you know how much time and effort it takes to memorize all those lines. He doesn't want to be doing that. He wants to be sipping cocktails on the beach. He needs a break from that stuff. So Roman Reigns returned, and he was confronting John Cena, and he was telling Cena to get out of my ring. This is my show, even though he hasn't been there in a long-ass time. But LA Knight came out, so we're going to apparently get a feud between LA Knight and Roman Reigns pretty soon, as people have been pushing for LA Knight to get pushed higher up the card, but now he's gone straight to the top. Looks like he's going to have a title match for the Universal title. And it hasn't been announced yet, really. But what the heck else are we supposed to think if he comes out and confronts Roman Reigns right to start off the show? So they have a little promo battle, which was cool and nice. This was a nice, neat little thing. It looked cool. Superstars galore all over the ring. Cena's even there. And I think this was interrupted by Jimmy Uso, right? We're finally getting a little bit of an answer, which I'll get to that in a second, Vlad. But so Jimmy Uso's here to interact with Roman for the first time, but he gets thrown out of the ring by LA Knight, and Paul Heyman convinces Roman to leave the scene, not have a confrontation at the moment. And I think so Roman sends Solo to kind of take care of him for the night. So I think that's the main event, right? Let's just go through this whole angle with these boys. What happened on this night? So they set up Solo versus LA Knight for the main event, and the main event, if I could jump to that, the very end, was interrupted again by Jimmy Uso, who I guess was thwarted by Cena, and then LA Knight ends up getting his finisher on Solo while all that commotion was going on, and he wins the match. But he does end up getting speared by Roman Reigns to end the show. So Roman was involved with certain other things. He had a moment with Cody that I'll talk about in a second. But before we talk about Cody, let's just stick with LA Knight for the moment. What are you guys' prospects of a Roman Reigns LA Knight feud? I'll start with Vlad.
Well, this was done really well. I thought the one thing when LA Knight came out and John Cena announced him, I thought the thought that came in my head is like, this is going to be the opportunity to see what LA Knight is made of, because now everything else he had done previously was fine, but now this is like the big leagues. This is it. This is we're waiting to see, because if he can go kind of promo-wise with Roman, I think it's going to go a long way for him for the push. And I thought he did quite well. I thought he succeeded. I thought he did decent. I mean, more than decent. I thought he did well. I thought he spoke well. He got his point across. He showed his personality. He did well. And I thought everything that happened in the match-wise, then Roman spearing him after the match, was all done pretty flawlessly, I feel. So as a feud, or the beginnings of a feud, I thought this was great. I have no problems with this. So thumbs up, not just the Orange Cassidy halfway thumbs up, like 2 major thumbs up for this. I thought it was a good job. I mean, for me, I don't know what you guys might have different thoughts, but I liked it.
All right, let me see Robert's thoughts on this one.
My thoughts. It's pretty much that. Okay. So
Robert has a little clapping emoji going on here for our audio listeners.
All right.
That's right.
So I did not watch any of NXT or Monday Night Raw, but out of all the wrestling that I did watch this week, this was my favorite. That opening segment of SmackDown is my favorite segment in the wrestling this week. It was awesome. I loved it, and like I mentioned earlier, this was actually my first time watching SmackDown in ages, and I'm glad I did, because I would have missed out on this. So the fans have wanted a push for LA Knight for a long time. It doesn't get much bigger than this.
No, this is it.
Yeah, this is it. You can't go any bigger than Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
So I loved this segment. It was awesome. And then the match and how it ended with Roman Reigns spearing LA Knight, that was cool too. Overall, this is so far the way it started off is fantastic, and I can't wait to see what happens next. I might even start watching SmackDown on a regular basis just for this. We'll see, but hell yeah, I'm all for it.
I'm just a little afraid of, I guess, him losing because he's gonna lose. You know, he's not gonna win. You know, that's kind of a thing that hampers the push a little bit. I
think if there was no Cody Rhodes, I would feel more comfortable with the prospect of LA Knight actually going over Roman Reigns. But because the Cody Rhodes thing I think is not finished yet, I would agree. Like I think there's a big possibility of LA Knight not going over.
Yeah, so he's just going to be another guy added to the list of Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, and Cody Rhodes, who probably should have beat Roman but just got cheated out of it, which I guess, all those guys look good. All those guys didn't end up coming out of it looking bad or anything, so it's just going to be another one of those feuds, though, that we know the outcome. There's not going to be a title change, but it's just going to be, nice to see, I guess. So, okay. That's the only thing. I'm happy about it. I think it's cool. I think it's a great spot, obviously, for LA Knight. I'm just a little sad that he's not going to be the champion. But I'll move on to